it's me, Nicolette Mashile, and I'm bringing you another installment of My First Time with Money. And today I've got the accomplished author, serial entrepreneur, and political baby, Tshepiso Phosa. I wanted to ask her, the first question was, Tshepiso, do you believe in dating in your financial lane?
No, I don't believe in that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. No.
Liability, wena?
No liabilities. I'll turn them into an asset.
Oh, girl, I love that. So y'all guys, stay tuned in, and the video is coming next. So, what do you do?
My name is Tshepiso Phosa, and I am an entrepreneur. I'm in petroleum, and I am also in e-learning. We have a company called Mobigo Solutions where we do digital solutions and we create apps. We rent out drones. And thirdly, I also am involved in the coffee space. I'm running a company called Lowfeld Coffee, and therefore we distribute 3 AAA graded beans to South Africa. We are supplied by the Big 5 group, and yeah, basically in a nutshell, that is what I do. And on top of that, also mostly I am running 3 orphanages in Mpumalanga of 426 children. Crazy,
you left one thing out. Carry on, you're a new author.
I'm a publisher. I just recently released my first book called Fueling Futures alongside with my colleague Timothy Maurice Webster, and therefore that also makes me an author.
Yes, it does. Tell us about the book. What's the book? I think I'm interested. I'm going to go through each and every single one of what you do, but I think I want to start with the book because that's the most recent project, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the book. What's the book about?
Okay, so the book Fueling Futures is a book that I wrote after I lost my voice. I was involved in a very abusive relationship and I almost died in China in April last year. And in the meantime, I was busy writing a book for young entrepreneurs. The book is for young professionals, both women and men, speaking about gender equality, leadership, how I started my businesses, how I diversified into different industries, and how I sat on the board of the Mpumalanga rugby team as the first woman in history, how that came about and how you should look for opportunities and work with them to make yourself successful in life, but also how you should be patient. I also share my steps of planning, and also I share my idea of what fuel should look like. There are the different types of fuel. There's spiritual fuel, there's mental fuel, physical fuel, and there's emotional fuel. And how do you apply all of them and put them in place so that you're able to position yourself as an individual?
Okay, that makes sense. So now, obviously, I'm not gonna allow you to divulge your entire book because people must actually go and buy it to be able to read it. But Tshepiso, let's talk about fuel. You say you're in petroleum. My first thing is, what does that actually mean? What does it entail, being in petroleum? Yeah.
Well, so I started training in Brent Oil Irene while I was still studying in varsity, and basically it was my father was running the Brent Oil site, and I was like, what am I doing in petroleum? What am I doing here? I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't want to be here. My specialty is I'm starting to do PR and marketing, and then I dropped out of my BCom degree. Then afterwards I decided I'm going to go and do a diploma and higher certificate in event management because I wanted an easy way out of school because I couldn't stand everything that was being done. But anyway, long story cut short, petroleum is about the retail space is about being able to sell your products to the clients, but also it's about positioning. It's about being able to also price your petrol to a certain level that you're able to beat, sorry to say it that way, but to beat your competitors.
Yes.
And what happened in my first year in petroleum after the training of a year and a half in Brent Oil, Irene, and in Cape Town, I actually got a funding from a company called Parisland Capital, and therefore they also assisted me in terms of the interest rate that I would be paying back. I'd be paying prime plus 1 because I was a youth member, which was really great, and being a woman, those are the incentives. But what happened in first year when Puma came to South Africa, no one knew who Puma was, 2016.
Yes.
So what I had to do is create a product, package my product differently in comparison to my competitors. So what I did is I actually ended up giving my clients 44 cents cheaper on diesel on the whole of Nelspruit for a whole year, which means as an entrepreneur I actually took a risk of losing that amount of profit for myself.
Yeah.
But for me, it was worth it in the long run because I wanted to give my clients something that was unique and different in nature, and therefore that also helped us sign and seal our deals with having the fleet cars for Mercedes, for CTM, and other big corporates in Mpumalanga, which was really, really great because when I took over the site, it was 175,000 liters, and we pushed it and sold it now October 350,000 liters. So for me, I really did push the product, and also it's not just about petroleum. In the petrol side, people think you make money within the liters. Actually, it's not. It's more in the convenience store.
Yes.
So my filling station had a convenience store which I renovated and called Force Daily to Go, and also we had a car wash. So what we did, we always add an extra tweak. So we'd have the Puma players actually washing the vehicles of my top clients.
Oh, wow.
Clients that supported us. Something different marketing strategies that would make our clients feel unique and different, and also want to be part of us as a lifestyle.
I like what you said. There's two things that I've noted that what you said, okay? So the first one is the fact that you said Puma was very new in the country, so it was more than just being in the petrol business. There was also a branding that you had to do to bring the brand, to get people to trust it. I mean, you are competing in the likes of Engine, BP, you know, Shell. So do you think that the dropout of the degree that you were doing to some level actually did come and help you out?
It really helped me out. Everything I've learned in life happens for a reason. Before, when people tell me that, I'm like, yeah, you know, cliche. But at the same time, it helped me out a lot because I use my marketing strategies to be able to pull feet to our filling station. And, you know, to pick up, if you're in the petrol space, you do know we did 350,000 liters in a year and a half. But even when we sold, we maintained that in 4 years later. When we sold last year, October, like I said, we still maintained that 350,000 liters. We were playing between 300 and 350,000 liters. My point is that when I bought over the site in 2014, we still not once did we do 175,000 liters in the space.
Which is what was the norm for that site.
Yeah.
Now, very interesting, you say you didn't make money from the liters, you didn't make the money from the petrol per se, but you made money from everything else that you added to the actual site, which was the convenience shop and the car wash, right? So how is that what you would say to somebody who is looking to go into a filling station? Say, when you're buying your site, look out for those type of opportunities also.
I would definitely say that. They don't actually tell you that, but I mean, it's, from experience, I would definitely say that. But also, most importantly, I would say you must look out for the location and the plan of the actual province as to what the town plan, what do they have planned for that road. Because the reason why I actually sold is because it was on the N4, and then they decided to change the whole plan, that in 10 years time we had known that there would be no island in between my filling station and Ilanga Mall.
I was about to say, because people were worried that you are on a service road and you wouldn't get any traffic.
Exactly. So the reason why we had so many different marketing strategies, we had 44 cents cheaper on diesels because we're trying to pull people to come regardless of the inconvenience. But then when the Ilanga Mall also came through and they started renovating, they changed the whole road. So basically they extended the island that was splitting myself and Ilanga Mall, and I lost 80,000 liters per month in 3 months. So because I understand the impact that does, I decided to sell, and I invested my money in a company in Malawi where I've transformed and maximized. I'm doing wholesaling now, which is better for me because it also gives me time to focus on my youth projects, to focus on my other businesses, and also it also gives me time to also learn about international markets when it comes to petroleum and meet other people in my field.
We're 8 minutes into this, and I'm sitting here, I've got goosebumps because I'm like, how old are you?
I'm 28.
28 years old. You've been running a fuel station. You've sold it. You are in another country. You've got a publishing company. You have an e-learning company. You've got a restaurant. Like, girl, what does this say? So now anybody who's sitting out there might be thinking the same thing that, and I'm sure you've experienced this, but she's Dr. Matthews Phosa's daughter. She's Pinky Phosa's daughter. So she must have had a silver spoon in her mouth. Everything must have been handed to her, or at least helped in some way. Can you take us through that?
I would gladly take you through that. I think the reason why I've also pushed so hard and been in diverse businesses, I want to make it very clear, it's 100% owned by myself.
Yes.
Yes, because I am Dr. Matthew Phosa's daughter and Pinky Phosa's daughter. I did have the privilege of having certain doors that were open already for me to walk in, but that does not mean that there's a silver spoon when you walk in. You need to actually earn your stripes. You need to earn respect. People don't respect you in the corporate world because you're so-and-so's daughter. You need to, the way you act and carry yourself and the way you deliver your work should show that you are from the best.
Yes.
You need to earn your own respect. Your parents will open doors for you in, if you say typical political baby.
Yeah.
But funny enough, typical political babies, I don't even have political friends, politicians' friends, kids as friends, because we don't think the same. But I think it's a choice as well. But on my side, I think it's important for people to actually understand that we are individuals, and it is actually harder to get respect from people. From my side, it's taken me like 7 years for people to take me seriously in my industry. I had to deliver different products, like be part of e-learning, petroleum, and also hand them my documents, my company documents, until they see that it's 100% shareholding by this young woman, and she's been running it for so many years, and she's affiliated with such and such people. Then they take me seriously, because I think with my colleagues, I work with very strong leaders and colleagues and partners, and I try and collaborate with a lot of people, so when they show respect for me, people want to know why. I think it's because of the respect that I have for myself firstly, and the respect that I have for their time and themselves as well.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the types of, I know that you're best friends with both your parents, and there's so many lessons that you have derived from both of them, from a different, altogether. So let's talk a little bit about what type of conversations are happening in your household from a young age about money. Are you being taught about money? Are you being told, Guti, listen, babe, just because there's money flowing in this house doesn't mean you can get whatever it is that you want? Or are you spoiled? Are you living the life? What was happening with money?
So when I was younger, obviously I was really spoiled.
Yeah.
But as I got older, when I say older, I would say at about 14, high school, my father started making us earn our stripes, basically. If you want to get a phone or you want to get a laptop, you need to, your marks need to show results. It's a 10% increase, 20% increase. So we'd have like goals that we'd set with our parents, both parents actually. And they would say, this is realistic, this is unrealistic. But then regardless, only if those goals are achieved would we be able to get, for example, 2,000 Rand extra to go shopping or whatever. Then I didn't understand that concept when I was younger, but now I really appreciate it, because a lot of my other friends that had like the political background, they would actually have more than what we as kids had. But it didn't make sense to me because our parents were in the same league, basically. But now it makes sense, because he's trying to say to me that, the world's not going to give you things just because you ask for it. You need to work for it. And that independence as well, because my parents were away most of the time. The point is that independence that they taught me to be able to think about my own goals, not force their own goals upon me, but help me to think about my own goals and align them, and then just tweak them where they need to be, because I was young. But secondly, also that sense of independence, to say you need to think about the consequences of what you're putting down on paper. So I think that as well. So in the household, when it comes to money, in general, well, now since 2014, I don't get any money from my parents at all, except for my birthday and Christmas. But otherwise, I work for myself fully, and I don't have a sugar daddy at all.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
That's what we get asked all the time.
God is my sugar daddy, if you want to put it that way, because he provides for me. When I put in the effort, he puts in the work, and he opens the doors that need to be opened when I've done my research. So,
let's talk a little bit about what do you consider yourself to be financially disciplined? I can imagine, babes, if I'm owning a fuel station, y'all are gonna know, y'all gonna see it, okay? I'm driving the latest car. I'm bringing all my friends. Pump your petrol. So do you consider yourself somebody who is financially disciplined?
I think now I do consider myself as someone who's financially disciplined.
Yeah.
But before 2014, I don't think I was as disciplined. I mean, I was only 20, I was early 20s.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that also it's overwhelming. But I think because my parents I used to be exposed to a lot of cash and money when I was young in terms of like seeing my parents doing transactions and all of those things. So at the same time, I was not shocked when I saw, the turnovers on a monthly basis.
Nice.
Because I was taught about it at a young age. Other than varsity, it's different to actually see it and actually
live it. Yes.
It,
Yes.
And then basically I realized, you see, in petroleum people go wrong because they think, okay, now you've got 400,000 now. This is your money. It's not your money. It's for this filling station. You take a salary, and that's what you live off. The cash flow that you see flowing there, it's for your stock. It's for you to order. You need to order on time, 3 days lead time for the filling station that the franchise I was working with. Some franchises differ. Sometimes you can also get your stock on the same day, but you need to pay before delivery. So
Money
if you don't
talks.
have the cash, they are not delivering. Even if you're 1,000 rand short, it doesn't matter. They are not delivering until you've paid up front, and then basically then they come and deliver. When they've delivered, you too need to be disciplined, because in between you also have your wages every 2 weeks that you have to pay.
Oh yes.
And then you've got MIPCO, which is a union that takes care of your staff.
Yeah.
So if you don't pay your staff on time, MIPCO will be on you, and then CCMA. So you need to be disciplined, because if you're not, then you don't pay people on time. You have unhappy staff, and unhappy staff therefore will treat your clients that you are marketing to come to this filling station badly, and then at the end of the day you have a bad day, week, and your finances will tell the story for you.
Yeah.
So what we used to do, how I used to motivate my staff, is that I used to say to them, well, if we hit targets, then I will do a bribe for my staff,
nice.
give them 6 packs each, because someone sometimes needs to have a drink and relax.
Yeah.
And then we'd also dress up. We would have every end of the month we'd actually dress up different themes. And just give our clients that extra feel, like a different feel. So they used to work really hard towards that. And I think in any business, not just petroleum, our best assets are our people, our staff members, and therefore it's important that they understand your vision as a leader, and it's also very important that they are happy, because then everything else will flow the way it's supposed to flow according to the plan.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your life, your personal life now, and money, relationships, friendships. And let's start with friendships, because I know it's a big one. Obviously, without trying to put any of your ex-friends or current friends into any bad light.
Yeah.
But I know as Nicolette myself, it's hard sometimes to maintain really good friendships, because generally you want everybody to be happy, so you end up paying all the time. Or tell us a little bit, take us through your friendships.
Wow. Okay. Well, in high school, you're going through that phase of it's so cool, like I can pay all the time.
Yeah.
Varsity, yes, I can pay all the time. And I was part of this group of friends. We're like 7. And, all of us had our own characteristics.
Yes.
So I was the girl in the group where I had the car.
Yes.
And I had the house.
Yes.
And I had, the cash flow. So I was just paying for everybody, picking up everybody, dropping them off. And eventually I was like, look, but we all have parents, we all have pocket money to deal with. And it came to a point where I started getting broke because I was paying for everybody and everybody must be happy. And when I did not have anything, the same group of friends did not have my back. So then I realized, look, I don't have friends. I just have people who are just leeching off me, and I need to just get it together and find myself. I remember in the book I even talk about how I had a car accident. And imagine I was this popular kid in varsity who's paying for everybody's drinks, popping champagne, blah blah blah. For me, I call it nonsense, all that nonsense. Basically I lost my car, but when I lost my car, all 100, let's say there were 100, I only had like 2 friends that were there for me. The people that I paid for everything, they're not there for me anymore. And I don't feel sorry for myself now, but that time I felt so bad, because it taught me a very good lesson to say, at the end of the day, friendships are not about what you have. It's also about the sacrifice that people are willing to make for you, and also the respect that we have for each other. So I lost a lot of friends, but at the same time I've learned a lot from them, and some for some reason are still coming back now, but I think they've also learned the lesson.
Yes.
So we have conversations, but we at an arm's length,
Yeah.
and we have boundaries and we respect the boundaries.
Let's talk about relationships now, because friendships, sometimes as people, we are more forgiving and lenient in relationships than we are in friendships, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to somebody who's leeching off you, someone who's an opportunist. Do you find dating hard?
I find it very difficult. In varsity, there was the leeching
Yeah.
type of guy, the guy who actually will pay, but he just wants to date you to just drive your car. And you're like, seriously? And then it was difficult in comparison to my other friends, because I don't know, I would never find out exactly the reason why is this person with me until like 6 months later. But I mean, that's 6 months of my life that I'm wasting. I mean, money can buy anything but your time, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess then you take the lessons once again. But now, as I'm getting older, I remember my previous relationship, the one I mentioned where I got strangled.
Yeah.
He used to spend so much money on me, and I'd be like, but this business, I don't understand. Like, your business and the money that I'm seeing, it doesn't make sense. I'm a businesswoman. It's not correlated.
It's a guy, babes.
And if I'm going to spend it, I don't want to be spending it on your behalf. And that must be, you know, explaining things I don't know.
Yeah.
So then you become, because you must be careful of exactly how you expose yourself in a relationship as well. To say, yes, okay, fine, you didn't know what this guy was doing, but you were spending the money with him. So you start thinking, okay, my reputation, the things I've worked for, is it really worth it?
Yeah.
No. And then there was the abuse. So I said, you know what, I can work for myself. The things he's buying me, I can buy them myself right now. So what I would do is, you know, I would be forgiving and lenient, because I have a very, very soft spot for children. And he had 2 beautiful children. And, you know, he'd use the kids to, you know, make me, you know, become softer and whatever. And then if I'm upset with him, he'd like buy me a Louis Vuitton bag. And then I'd be like, okay. Then, you know, but for me, I don't like that, because when I was younger, when my parents were away, when they used to try and make up for events that they've missed, they used to just buy me things. So for me, not that I'm ungrateful, it's just like I'm used to that kind of thing, so it doesn't impress me at all. So basically, I decided, you know, I'm going to choose myself. I'm going to buy myself my Louis Vuitton bags, buy myself my car. I'll work hard. I'll wait another 6 months if I have to. But at the end of the day, in the waiting is what is rewarding, because when you wait and you're patient with your money and you save your money, you can achieve your own things. And guess what? No one's gonna take them away from you, because they're yours.
Girl, preach it, say it. It is all there. It also makes sense. Let's talk a little bit about some of your biggest financial mistakes that you've made. What is the one thing that stands out where you're like,
So I think the biggest financial mistake that I made would be in the filling station. After trading for 3 years, I trusted a manager for after 3 years, I thought, no, well, we've got a trust basis going on, but it's cash. When it comes to cash, there's no friend. You need to always be hands-on. So I started opening up new businesses, spending more time on other things than being like literally micromanaging my manager for 3 years. I was like, no, he's fine. So instead of checking our statements on a monthly basis, I'll do it like every quarterly, and you know, and which is what the norm should be. I mean, if you've got 10 stations, you can't be on a monthly basis going scrutinizing with your accountant all the time. You need to be able to trust your staff as well. But at the same time, unfortunately, people take chances, and you can never determine when are they going to take chances. You can close the loopholes, but there always is a gap. And for you as an entrepreneur, it's for you to find the gap and close it as quickly as possible, so that you can lose as much as the least as possible. So it was actually trusting a manager after having worked and trained him for three years to say, this is how we work here. And that's why I only bought myself my first car 2 years after having run the filling station, because I wanted it to be worth it, and I wanted to be able to see the money growing and to show that I'm also prove to myself that I'm also growing. All
right. So just to wrap it up now, it's been a very interesting conversation. I think we've kind of gotten a very great peep into your life. What would you say is the number one lesson about money that you learned from your parents?
Firstly, I think people are going to hate it if I say this, but it's true.
Say it, girl.
Real wealth does not shout. It whispers. So as you're accumulating your money, I understand we have the social media space where we want to show people that we have certain things. But for me, to be honest with you, the accounts that are like that, for me, they don't intrigue me. It's about, financially, it's about how are you growing on a monthly basis, on an annual basis, in comparison to what you were 5 years ago.
True.
So when it comes to money, it's about saving. Even if it's 10% of what you made in total a month. Some people say we should save about 15% annually. I save 10% a month. Why? Because when my manager stole money from me, I had to go back into the bank, and for the first time the company was not running on an overdraft. We had to go open an overdraft, and guess what? The interest rates of an overdraft are a nightmare.
Yeah.
So that for me, I really did not ever in my life expect, but I don't ever want to do it again, because I lost a lot of money to the bank paying back for what I could have avoided. So basically, it's for you to be able to save, so that when you have hiccups in your business or in your personal space, that you're able to cover and close those loopholes without having to pay extra interest. It's already enough punishment, the fact that you made a mistake and you one step backwards, but now you're going and getting a loan. It's okay to get a loan, but some loans are not necessary. Like you can actually avoid it by actually saving, so that if you hit hiccups and hurdles along the way, you are able to take care of them yourself, and then also to save, so that you're able to see the growth within your career from 10 years time. So I've got financial plans for 5 years time, 10 years, and I'm up to 15 for now. What I want to see, and then therefore I'm also able to align myself, know what am I willing to pay for, what am I not willing to pay for, and who am I willing to work with, who am I not willing to work with, is determined by my goals, my long-term goals, my short-term goals. So it's important that we sit down now, especially in January, and say, look, what am I going to do for this year differently that I did not do last year, and what lessons have I learned, and how am I going to apply them into my 5-year plan and my 10-year plan.
Do you consider yourself a wealthy person?
I think I'm wealthy, not financially in cash, but within my soul, I think I'm a wealthy person, because I know I'm very different, and God always provides for me regardless. And even there's times when I get broke and I'm like, I'm about to get broke, but because of the way I give of myself to people, people will never know. I don't even notice it for more than 2 or 3 days, because then other deals open, or someone will do a payment that was not expected. So God always aligns things. So I think I'm wealthy because I'm different.